Well, seems like we're gonna have to offer some explanations here. About 2 weeks ago was when I was supposed to upload a premiere event for a new season of HWH. But as you can pretty much tell, so much has happened. A lot of new work has come down, and there's been hardly any kind of time to put some new stuff together for other work that I have. So March 1st, 2023 is a time where HWH never happened. But here, I feel like I finally found a small window that I could work with. And with that in mind, let's just give ourselves some time to focus on something brand new for 2023. Yeah, pretty much a good way to start off a whole new year with a whole new slew of possibilities. So, this whole thing right here will pretty much just be a core subject that relates to this exact episode of HWH. So, I got the cardboard piece out of the way, but now we're gonna go and get to the rest of it. For you to see. Out of the box, we got all this different stuff. We got two semi-translucent corner pieces with some cutouts in the center. As you can see, I got it laid out in a sort of square formation. Then we have these pieces, very similar to what we get on some Track Builder Unlimited sets. Then there's this 90-degree corner turn kicker, as well as these. These basically are the equivalent to the more recent kicker launcher, except they're a lot more compact in size. So this can be pretty easy to use for the most part. It just seems that it probably won't work very well under the certain conditions that are here. For now though, let's just simply take a look at this whole set in detail. And I'm going to stretch it to 3 parts because, as you probably noticed, this set did come with its own model, Twin Mill Gen E basically, with a pink upper complete with the Hot Wheels logo that just stretches throughout the whole body. Not to mention a chartreuse colored base, gray wheels, but one could only guess how many models are in this whole bag. I mean, it's crazy just the way it is. So that's exactly why I'm going to be stretching it to 3 parts. Got a lot of cars to work with. And as you probably noticed earlier, there are a lot of ways that we can probably make this happen. So, let's just see what we can accomplish with this part of HWH Season 8. And so, that bag is basically what I consider to be probably a third of the way empty. But, as you can probably tell, we got ourselves a nice starting point with the box itself offering some connector bits for the straight track. Let's get started right away by introducing a new for 2023 model known as the Ford Escort RS2000. So, starting off strong with some new models this year. Well, pretty good. I guess any of them that make it all the way can just stay up here, pretty much. Manual reset on the corner kicker, obviously. And the same thing will pretty much go with any of the other parts that are kickers. Now we have ourselves a customized Volkswagen drag bus. Wow, what a surprise. Never would have figured they would actually make it that far. Well, even though it drags, I could probably suspect one to not drag as much, Another new for 2023 model called Rally Special. And he's probably noticed it had a little drift action back there, even though there are a couple other models that can drift pretty well. And here's a good hint, there's actually a drift model in here somewhere. Now we have ourselves Wastelander, one of several different Hot Wheels Trackstar Moto bikes. That didn't work too well. Just set it right there alongside the track. And well, remember when I said I was talking about drift models? Here's one of those cases. Volvo 240 Drift Wagon. Pretty nice. I'd say so far things have been turning out pretty well. I guess it's a good way to kick off this whole thing, considering how it's taken a while just to get to this whole thing in general. Wow. The Pagani Zonda R, another new for 2022 model, but it's 2023, so expect a few more newer models to show up. So, next on the list is the Tesla Model Y. Yep, yet another new for 2023 model. Wow. It sure has been operating pretty well. And now we're going to get to a Blings model. Here we have ourselves a Ford Bronco concept based on the famous 2004 Ford Bronco concept of the same name. Might have dragged on some. Let's try that again. Yeah, dragging on something. Can't tell which, but we're going to move on. Another Trackstars Moto. Yeah, this one itself is a bit hard to figure out. You just can't necessarily find the names all too well. But the point is, we got Trackstars Motos here. Probably a little more often than ever. Yeah, that didn't work too well, so let's just set it there. Next up is a much older model. Here we have a BMW 750i, pretty much, or 850i, pretty much. There's really no name on the base, so it's hard to tell. And that's pretty much that. Starting to run out of room here, but I'll figure that out. A custom 1970 Pontiac Firebird is up next. And just like that, another completion is here. So, that's probably all there is to that part. Next up we have ourselves the Nissan Maxima wagon. And it's basically another drift car, much like with the Volvo 240. Wow, it's pretty impressive. By the way, there's a pretty low hanging splitter that you can see here, right at the very, very front. So, one can only imagine how well that's going to do in loops later on. So, that's just pretty much that part. Next up is the 1988 Ford Thunderbird, which was basically a custom Thunderbird. Well, I guess we'll accept that. Upside down or not, it probably doesn't matter too much. Now, another Trackstars Moto is here, and for the record, there actually could be an episode here dedicated to Trackstars Motos. Wow. Not one of them has made it, but that's not really fair. Still doesn't really do too well here. And so, let's move on to two other models here. Pocket Bikester, a much older model as well. Oh, it hit something. Try it again. Yeah, not great at that part. That part is just not very, good for most models. And well, there you go. Drone Duty, another brand new model. And I tell you, it's pretty impressive. We're already getting a bunch of new models this year, and I just can't wait to see many of the others. Well guys, it looks like we have ourselves a pretty decent victory here. Just as a starting point for what's to come though. Of course, I will in fact be using this whole thing in different ways. It's a lot like what I had to do during the first few episodes of Season 7. And I'm sure that you guys might like the new arrangements I'll have for this whole set. So tune in to parts 2 and 3 next time on HWH Season 8.
It had been so long, I thought you disappeared.